Hey you guys, what's up? I was not planning on filming from this angle today, so that's why everything is just a mess. And I won't be at this angle for long. I just wanted to do a really quick intro in saying that I don't want to pretend like everything's fine and there's nothing going on. I don't want to be one of those channels. Because personally, when I see creators coming on and not mentioning anything ever about the state of the world, especially when we're in crisis like right now, I kind of feel like I'm being gaslit and I'm like, is this happening everywhere? Is it just me? So I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to go into any specifics because I don't want to trigger anyone. Everything is very heavy right now. What I do want to say is that I will leave a link down below to creator Aaron, who does a really nice 4 to 5 minute roundup every morning and every evening of all the changes that are happening in our country legally. I think that it's important to stay up to date with the legal changes happening because they're happening and they're happening very quickly. And I want us to be able to keep ourselves safe, our family safe, our loved ones safe. And I think that knowledge during this time is going to be very powerful. So while it's easy to tune out and while it's fine to tune out for a while, I do highly recommend that you check out his content just so that you can be in the know with all the changes. And I also just want to let you know that I am in solidarity with you. There's no amount of words to encapsulate how horrifying, scary, and just unbelievable times are in the US right now. And I just want you to know that I'm with you. I'm mourning with you. I'm crying with you. And yeah, we will get through this like one day at a time. We have to. But anyways, I did not feel like I would be doing my duty to you guys to let you know of this information and how I feel and that like everything is crazy right now. But now I do want to get into the shop my stash. So we're going to get into the makeup side of things. I will continue to leave that link in my bio. Just in case if you're not feeling ready right now and you feel ready on my next two videos, it will be down there. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into what I had in my last makeup basket. Okay, so here's what my basket was looking like last time. I also got a microphone, and you guys will have to let me know if you think that the audio quality has actually improved or not, because I feel undecided, which might be telling. But anyways, we will also have a few declutters in this video as well. I've decided so far that I want to go through and declutter as I go. One of you made a really good point that if I'm doing it as I go, not only can I get things to people faster before they expire, but also the reason for not liking or enjoying the product will be much fresher in my mind. And I really resonated with those points, as well as like just not wanting the hassle of holding on to things and going back and all of that stuff. So, anyways, yeah, and let's get into it. Okay, so this was not in here last time. It is the Huda Fox Filler Gloss in the shade Ooh Baby. I got this in PR, so I was trying it out, and I'm gonna hang on to it. I really love this formula. It is super hydrating. The shade is a really pretty baby pink. If you're someone who likes that like really cloudy pink lip, I think you would love this, but I'm gonna rotate it out. I also had this Valentino satin lipstick in the shade 100R in there. I did use this twice. I really like this. I enjoy the shade immensely. I think it is so beautiful. But I am going to rotate it out. I also had the matte formula in here, and this one's the shade 134R. And this is what I'm going to declutter, not because of formula, but the shade. This pulls a very orange on me, which maybe by looking here you can kind of tell that it does have that warmth in it, But yeah, it pulls a very orangey warm on me, and that's just not a shade that I particularly feel drawn to. So I'm actually going to declutter this. I also had my Hourglass Vanish stick in the shade Phantom in here. I didn't, or not in the shade Phantom, in the shade Trace. It's like a warm color. And I actually didn't use it the whole time it was in here, which is pretty surprising to me. I've been working with this basket for about 3 weeks now, and usually I would have used it, but I didn't. So I am going to keep it in another round. I also had the Lawless Forget the Filler in the shade Cherry Vanilla. This was my first time using this shade, and I think it's my favorite shade. I loved it. It gives like the most like cherry red like tint. It is so fun and cute. I loved it. I'm gonna keep it in because honestly I want to keep using it. This is gonna stay. It's my e.l.f. Lip oil. And then I had my Prada beige lipstick in there. I used this a handful of times. This is the one that I actually used the most. So I'm going to keep this in as well. I just reach for this all the time. So it makes sense to keep it out so that I'm not having to go into my drawers to get it, because like I know that I will be reaching for that product. Next product in here is my Milk Makeup blush stick. This is in my project pan, so it's gonna stay. I had multiple highlighters actually. This one is the Fruit Lighter from Cleona Cosmetics in the shade Bitter. Love this. It has like a super pretty reflect, and it has like an orange flip as well. Really, really enjoyed this. I am going to rotate it out though. Ooh, about dropped it. And then I also had this one in from One Size. It came out of the bottom of that cheek clapper. And I used this quite a bit and I really liked it. It's such a pretty pink highlight. So I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna rotate it out. But I could see myself rotating that back in soon. I'm also gonna rotate out my Fenty highlighter in the shade Pretty Pearls. It's a very just like basic, it looks kind of gold right here, but it's actually pretty icy on the skin. I also have my Milani Cheek Kiss in the shade Blushing Berry, and this is a stunning shade, and I only used it once. So I'm like, do I want to keep it in for one more? I think I will rotate it out. I also had in my Bobbi Brown. This is the Pot Rouge in the shade Pink Flame. It's just so pretty. I used this twice. It's still just a beautiful gem of a shade and of a formula. I'm going to rotate it out. Then I also had my Kaja Dewy Bar in the shade Fig Smoothie in here. And I'm going to keep it in. I really was loving using this. It is just like a beautiful shade in general. But for this time of year, it pulls like, it looks like a little bit cooler on my skin. Like almost like a wind burnt kissed pink, I guess. So I'm going to keep it in because I was really enjoying that. I have my Chanel bronzer that's going to stay in because it's in my project pan. So I'm going to keep that in. I also had my Tom Ford bronzer in here, the shade 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this out. I also had another bronzer in here that is new and I cannot talk about on social media yet. So I have my thoughts on that one already. So I'm probably going to rotate that one out too. So I'm only going to have one bronzer in my basket currently as we go into shopping. This is my panning foundation from Chanel. I am trying my hardest not to spoil for my project pan, but you might be able to tell we're making big moves on this. So it's going to stay, obviously. Also, I have the Armani liquid, are these liquid? I don't know. Silk Cheek Tint in the shade 62. Really pretty. I really just wanted to get to know this formula a little better. And I still feel like I just don't know. I almost just need to like use it for a week straight or something. I don't know. I'm going to rotate it out for now. I think I'm going to rotate in the other shade. I'm going to keep this in. It is my corrector. This is my glowy primer that I'm working on from Dior. It's going to stay in. And then I know last time I saw you guys, I rotated in the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. It is still just a skosh too light, so I put it back in my drawer. And that got me thinking that my Gucci one might work for me, and it does right now. So I'm going to keep this in. I also had my Huda Easy Blur in the shade 200B in. I was thinking initially I was going to rotate this out, but my Chanel foundation is much closer to empty than I thought. So, I was almost like, should I keep it in? But you know what? I think I'll go ahead and rotate it out. And then if I use up my Chanel, I'll work on my Gucci one. So I am going to rotate this out. I also have my Huda Easy Blur Primer. I'm going to rotate this out. And then I have the Aborient CC Red Correct. I love this. I'm going to keep it in. It's just like a really easy go-to lightweight thing when I'm running late or feeling like I don't want to do a lot. I also have my matte Glow Play blush in here that I've been using, if you can tell. I really need to depot some other stuff into here. I honestly just haven't. I know. And then I had my two Makeup by Mario palettes in here to pair with a lot of the singles that I had. And I think I want to keep in this warm one because I can foresee me doing some more singles this time around. But I am going to rotate the cooler one out. I also had my Natasha Denona Gold palette in, and I did use this 3 times, which go team. I even used that shade, so very proud of myself for that. Usually I just do like the same look every time, which is fine. I love it. Getting like I have a pretty nice dip in that shade over there, but I still don't think it's close to Pam. It's just like a nice dip. But anyways, I'm going to rotate this out. Then we're over here to my singles. I had a lot of singles in this time around, which is, you know, totally fine. I was just feeling it, so I really wanted to get into it. This product from Trixie and Appreciate. This is so beautiful and so sparkly. It is, I think, probably might be the most sparkly one in my collection. It is stunning. I'm going to rotate it out. I also had my Kulfi shadow in the shade Bronze Brocade in. Absolutely love this. I'm really tempted to get the one, I think it's like Sana Sana, that is like a pinky purple. But I'm going to rotate this out. I also had my Hourglass Scattered Lights in the shade Ray in here. I love this one. I think I'm going to keep this one in. It's like a really nice go-to. And then I also had the shade Ritz from ColourPop. Enjoyed that. Gonna rotate it out. I used the crap out of my Little Home Merit single in the shade Mid-Century. This is a really nice cream formula, and it does not crease. I put this all over the lid and my crease and my transition, and then I just go over with like a more sparkly single shadow, and I love the way it looks and the way that it holds up. I am going to keep this in because I think it's just a really good workhorse product to have in my rotation. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't even see that. I also have the Patrick Ta Duo in the shade Do You Know Who I Am? I used it twice, and I still feel the same way that I felt about it like feel like it's nice. I'm gonna keep it because I have it, but I wouldn't recommend going out and purchasing it. You can get like the same finish from a Super Shock shadow. From the Super Shock, from the Hourglass Scattered Lights, exact same finish. Even from a couple shades in that Natasha Denona Gold palette. Like, this, I know he's like, there's nothing else like this. Well, there's actually a lot like it, so you don't need it. I'm gonna rotate it out. Um, I had this little quad in here that we picked. And after we spoke, I did end up rotating this purple shade in because I was like, oh, I think I'm going to wear something that will tie in really nicely with that. So I popped it in here and I actually didn't like the way that it looked on my eyes. So I'm going to declutter this shade right here. And then I had these three, which I wore all of them, and I thought that they all looked beautiful. So I'm going to hang on to these three, but I am going to rotate them out. All right, the last few declutters, and like, you're probably like, wow, it's a lot of mascara. I would agree. So this CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume, if you saw my declutters, I chatted about how I didn't really like the formula, and I just used it on my lower lash line. Well, I went to use it on my upper lashes because I wear glasses a lot of the time now, so like I don't feel like my lashes like need to be as prominent. And this just flaked literally everywhere. Like it was the worst flaking I think I've ever experienced. So I'm decluttering it. I'm also gonna declutter this one from Iconic London. It is a brown mascara, and like this performance wise is a great mascara. The color is really nice. I'll show you in case you're looking for a brown mascara. Um, Absolutely nothing wrong there. But the thing is, I just don't like brown mascara on me. And I told staff, I was like, do not ever let me open another brown mascara. Fortunately, all the ones I've tried, I've gotten in PR or exchange for like review. So I haven't spent money on a brown mascara, but I'm like, just like stop letting me even open them because I just don't like the way they look on me. I think they just completely wash out my face. It makes me look like I have no lashes on. I prefer black mascara. So nothing wrong with it. I just don't like brown mascara. So I'm going to get rid of that. And then this one is really sad. It's a Milk Makeup Kush High Roll Mascara. I'm still like, I don't know. I almost still feel on the fence about it, but like, so I love the way that this performs. It gives me really good volume, length, curl. I just think that I'm not a tubing mascara gal. I have never worked with like tubing mascara before. This is my first experience with it, so I didn't know that I didn't like it before I bought like an expensive tube of it. But it just feels like so much work to me, which is like crazy because I know the claim is that it's so much easier to remove, so much faster, but I don't find that to be true at all. Especially because when I do my makeup, I usually do a full beat. So I'm using a cleansing balm, and this comes off best. They say, to just use water. And it's like, okay, so I'm going with the cleansing balm all over my face. It creates an icky, sticky, gooey on my eyelashes. And then I go over it with water like a bajillion times to pull off the tubes. And then, even then, when I get out, I still have like raccoon eyes. And this, aside from the waterproof Bad Gal Bang mascara, like this has been the hardest to remove. And I just simply don't have the energy for it. And it's like annoying because this was so expensive, but like I just cannot be bothered. Like it is such an extra chore. And already, like, if you know me, you know that the part I hate most about makeup is having to remove it. Like, I loathe removing it. It is such a chore. So, to have a product that is just like makes it even more of a chore to remove my makeup is just like, no, cannot. So, I am going to declutter this as well. But yeah, let me get everything put where it goes, and then we'll get into my drawers and we'll shop my stash. Okay, so here we are at my top drawer with our primer, SPF, foundation, concealer, and singles. Speaking of concealer, I forgot to mention that while we were up top, but right now I have the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow in. This is what it looks like. And then I recently got the Colfi concealer in the shade Misty Maple. And I don't really think, I don't think the shade is like perfect. It's definitely too dark for me right now, but even maybe a little peachy. So I had been mixing them. I also think this is drying. I don't love this concealer. I know so many people do, but I'm not having the same experience with it, unfortunately. And then I did just get a Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer from Skeepers to review in the shade 2C. And first of all, this brush, this dofa is like crazy. It's fucking huge. Look at that. And that's what that shade looks like. So, LOL, dark. But I gotta test it. So, I'm gonna rotate the Colfi concealer out for now. And then I'm going to keep in the Pacifica one and rotate in the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I already have 2 foundations in, so I don't want to rotate in any more. And then for SPF, I did rotate out my blurring one, so I want to rotate in another blurring one. I want to rotate in the Benefit Professional. I really just haven't been reaching for blurring ones just because I've just been feeling lazy, but I like to have one in there just in case I'm like wanting to reach for one. So I'm gonna rotate this in. Singles, I know one I definitely want to rotate in is, I think this one. Yes, the Super Shock and the shade Frog. It's the only one I haven't used yet from my little Christmas haul. So I'm gonna rotate this in. And then I was really craving something pinky last time, so I think I'm gonna rotate this in as well. It's from Adriana Nicole Cosmetics, and it's the shade Ethereal. It's absolutely just stunning. Yeah, even though I just took it through a concealer. But this is an absolutely gorgeous shade, so I'm going to rotate this in. And then I was trying to think if well, that'll be 3 singles, so I don't really need to rotate any more in. Okay, yeah, I think that will be it from this drawer. Next drawer, we have face palettes and bronzers. I'm kind of feeling I want to pull my RMS Beauty in the shade Malibu Muse. I want to pull this back out. It's like a hybrid, like powder cream hybrid thing. I don't know. I freaking love it. So I want to pull this out. And then I think, what else do I want to pull out? I think a good one for like right now, this time of year, would be this Natasha Denona Berry Cheek Trio. These shades are pretty loud and pretty poppy, but it's very like, I don't know, winter-esque, I guess. So I think I'm going to pull this out. And I think that will be all from this drawer. Okay, next up is blush, which I already kind of have a lot of blush. I have my MAC one. I have my Milk one, and then the Treat Trio comes with one, and then I have my Kaja one, so I already have 4. What is just, like, calling to me? Because I feel like that's the only way it's going to get used, as if it's just, like, aggressively, like, hey, use me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys ever have those moments. I feel like, I don't know, because I was like, I kind of wanted to use this shade of the Armani Luminous Silk, which is 65. But I have that Natasha blush in, which, I mean, they aren't the same at all. But they do have like a similar red tone. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just gonna rotate it in. And then I think that's it, which I know that wasn't very fun, but I already have so many in there. next drawer is lips, and so far we only have one lipstick and one gloss. So we actually get to do a bit of shopping. And is this the one? This is the one I'm immediately just wanting to pull out. This is ABH, the satin formula in the shade Taupe Beige. I really like this one. I might actually add it into my project pan. But I'm going to pull this out. I also like to have something like a brownie nude. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull out this, also from Prada. It's the shade B106. Just a really stunning shade, in my opinion. So I'm going to pull this out as well. God, sometimes I feel like I could definitely get rid of everything but like a handful of things, because I like to reach for the same shit most of the time. So let's mix it up and let's pull this out. It's from the Sephora collection. It is their Sheer Shine Balance Lippy in the shade 05, which I think is really pretty, and these are comfortable on the lips. So I'm going to pull this out. And I think I want at least one more gloss. Actually, I think I want to test this out a little bit more. This is the LYS Lippy in the shade Sincere. And I've only used it like twice. So I think I want to try it out a little bit more to just like get a feel for the shade, because that's what I was on the fence about. So gonna rotate this in. Step highlighters. Okay, so first of all, I want to rotate this in. It's my Trixie highlighter in the shade Cold Shoulder. I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, man, I want to rotate that in. So pretty. Rotating her in. Next up, what do I want to pull? I honestly kind of found myself missing this House Labs one in the shade Peach Quartz. I just think that this is like a stunning shade and a stunning formula, and I love it. So I'm pulling this out again. And then I should probably just do one more. Let's mix it up. Let's do a different like formula. Well, or what if we want something, let's do something kind of pinky. This is the Fenty highlighter in the shade 3, which is Too Much. I'm going to rotate this one in. Okay, eyeshadow. So we have 4 singles, and a matte eyeshadow palette currently in. So I think, I don't know, I've just been feeling single so much this year that I think I'm gonna have to be like really mindful to use my my palettes, which is like insane. I never thought I would say that. But the ones I've been thinking about over the past few days, because I've been needing to switch out my stash, are the ABH Primrose palette that we got in Ipsy a few years ago. Obviously very loved. It is a favorite for sure. I think I could be close to pan in this shade, but I really would love to just expand some of the pans on here and play with these purple and pinks. Like, I've been kind of craving that, probably because Valentine's Day is coming up, that it's starting to get all the like red and pink things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rotate this in. What other palette do I want to do? Honestly, I've still been thinking about this one. I've already done 3 looks with it, and usually by then I'm kind of like ready to switch it up, you know? But I've been thinking about it. This one is the Revolution, the Icon palette, and it is so beautiful and insanely good formula-wise. So I think I'm going to rotate this in again. And then last time I was wanting to rotate in my Tom Ford body heat quad, but I didn't. So let's rotate this in. Oh, anything else? I was kind of like, maybe I should rotate this in to... God, I almost feel like I should just declutter this, you guys. I don't know what it is that I just like, whenever I pull it out, I'm like, God, it's so pretty, but like, I don't want to use it. I just like to look at it. Do you have palettes like that you just like to look at, and that's pretty much where it ends? I don't know. The other one I was kind of thinking about is my REM Beauty Wicked palette. I haven't pulled it out in a while, and it is stunning. Has like, I love this shade here. It's a beautiful one and done. Let's see, how many palettes do I have out? So I have 3, this will be 4, 5. I'll definitely have variety. I think that I will pull this out. And I don't know, I don't usually keep things in boxes, but like this is just so beautiful and I don't want to ruin it. So I keep this one in a box. So I'm going to rotate this in. And yeah, I think that is all for this time. So let's hop up to my basket and pop everything in. Okay, so a little bit of a different setup as far as where everything usually goes, but we had to do some mixing around to get it all to fit in there. But I think it all looks good. It looks accessible. Everything is easy to see. I did just want to show you guys the mascara that I rotated in since I decluttered the others was the Benefit Roller Lash. I got this in Ipsy for, I think it was January. I've never tried this before. I know. One of the only people left probably. But I am excited to test this out. So this is in. And then lastly, I did want to show you some perfumes that I have in. I'm working on a couple in my Project Pan, but I have a few others in as well that have kind of been over here. So I wanted to show you the other ones that are currently in rotation. The Prada, I don't even know what this one is called. I don't know. This Prada one is in, but I am going to rotate this out. I also still have this Gucci Bloom in. I love this one and it's going to stay. And then I had gotten for Christmas the Clean Reserve Whipped Cherry. This is insanely delicious. I don't usually like cherry, but this is just, it's so yummy. So I'm keeping this in. And then I also have my Kayali Utopia Vanilla 21. This is such a warm, delicious scent. It's not overly vanilla-y, you know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping this in. And then I had 2 recent things I got in Skeepers that are over here. The first one is the Sol de Janeiro 68. This is so delicious. I'd never tried this one before, But I was like, well, hopefully I'll like it. It's so good. I love it. And then I also got this one, which is new from Ellis Brooklyn. It's the Marshmallows Hair and Body Fragrance Mist. Delicious. Smells a like marshmallow that you cooked over the fire, but that is like perfectly browned around the edges. So delicious. It smells so good. It is a mist, so I only get like 4 to 6 hours of wear time, but I've really been enjoying it, layering it with the Kayali 21. Oh, so good. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys as well because I haven't been on Instagram for like, oh, I don't know, two-ish weeks now. So I feel like I have a lot to talk about because I haven't been able to share with my friends over there. And if you guys are coming from Instagram, I just want to say hi. I miss you so much and I love you so much. I miss my community over there. But with the meta stuff, I cannot return at this time. So I don't know when I'll be back to Instagram, but I do miss and I do love you guys dearly. And I hope that you're here watching so we can still stay in touch. But yeah, that is going to be all for me today. I hope you guys have an incredible day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Stay safe. I'm thinking of you and I'm sending you so much love. And yeah, I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.